Hello, how is everyone lately under quarantine? I've been pretty good. It's been a quiet few days slash weeks here in Glasgow. Nobody's been outside for how many days it's been? I lost count already. And I've been trying to keep myself productive as much as possible while under quarantine. One of the ways that I've been doing that is actually making masks. Look, how cute! It's watermelons. So I'm in this group on Facebook. It's called We Mean Business. It's for women in self-employment and freelance and just small businesses. And everyone shares like really interesting information, asks questions and stuff like that. And someone actually posted up a video of them making a mask. And her Instagram is Cuckoo Couture. I'll share it in the link below. I was inspired by her and how she made the mask, but I wanted to make my own. I just wanted to kind of play around because I've got a lot of time and I just wanted to stay productive, you know. I wasn't sure whether cotton masks would be useful, but I did some research and read a few articles, and you know, the best masks are obviously N95 masks and surgical masks, but we can't be buying and hoarding those masks because doctors and nurses need them, frontliners need them, so we should leave those to the people who are fighting the virus, right? So I thought, okay, because this person kind of inspired me to make the mask, I wanted to make sure that actually making cotton masks would be somewhat beneficial to normal folk like us. And I read that cotton masks, although not as effective as N95 masks and surgical masks, they are better than no protection at all. So, you know, if we have to go for emergency runs, like for groceries and whatever essentials, you can still wear these and it would protect you from anyone you think might be a little bit germy or anything in the air. It's just better than not having anything on, you know what I mean? I don't own a sewing machine. I don't know how to use a sewing machine at all, but I do know how to hand sew because I learned how to sew when I was 14 and we had to make aprons in school. And that has become a very useful skill that I now still have today, and it has helped me make this really cute watermelon mask. Ta-da! So I'm going to show you how to do it. It's not going to be as fast as using a sewing machine, but maybe if you want, you can challenge yourself. Just use this all the free time that you have now, that you're privileged to have now on your day, to make this mask for yourself and maybe some friends or your family. After all of this is over, this would be a very cool object that you can have as a memory of the world's first international pandemic that you have survived through, you know. So, let's get started. So what you need for the mask is cotton fabric. It has to be cotton, can be sustainable, organic, anything you want, but it has to be cotton, 100% cotton. Thread, of course. You can use thread that matches this, but I've kind of run out of like colorful thread, so I'm going to use black thread. Needles and pins, elastic to wrap around your head, scissors, and measuring tape or a ruler, whichever you have. The first thing that you're gonna need to do is to measure your mask. So it's gonna be 19 centimeters height, 21 centimeters width. And then you're gonna have to cut it. So let's cut. Okay, so I cut the two pieces of cloth, well, the one big piece of cloth in half, so you can see it's cut split in the middle. Okay, now I'm gonna flip it around, put it together again, just to see if it matches. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the triangles, I'm gonna cut the edges off. This will, so that if you fold a hem, you know, it will be nice and clean.
I'm just gonna cut that. See, I'm sorry if I'm butchering any professional professional sewing techniques or whatever it is. This is literally me winging it, how to make a mask. And I think I did a pretty good job, so ta-da. Okay.
So the reason I did this is so that we can make clean edges. So I would basically fold it like this, pin it together, and then if you want, you can just sew these two together without securing this, but I usually secure the edges as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold all of these, and then I'm gonna pin them so that we can secure them all around. So you can see here I've pinned all of the sides, all of the hems in, so that when you flip it over on the good side, see how clean it looks? So that's what I want to do for both of the fabrics. So now I'm just gonna like secure them with a bit of thread. So a nice trick that I used, instead of sewing thread here or anything, just to save time, I took scissors, and at the fold I just basically ran the scissors through like this all around the secured mask, all around it. And then when you do that, you actually, I mean, just as good as an iron, you basically flatten it out so that it becomes nice and clean like this.
Just a little bit of a disclaimer, I'm one of those people that I'm just really bad at following like instructions. This applies to not only sewing, but baking as well. When I cook, I kind of just cook by taste. I kind of just throw things into the pot, onto the pan as I go, depending on how I feel. So this was what it was like making this mask. There was a lot of trial and errors. I don't know, I don't have a sewing machine, so I thought, okay, I'm just gonna make it by hand. And I thought, how difficult can it be? And it took about, I don't know, it took about how many tries? Maybe 3 tries before I actually got it to the way that I really like. So I'm sorry for the lack of precision, but I mean, you can be more precise if you want, but I'm just the type of person that's not.
Okay, so I've done 2 of these, and this is the logic is that they're supposed to go like this, so that you have one side is the inside of the mask and the other side is the outside, and you know what I mean. I don't know what I'm babbling right now, but basically you're supposed to sew these two together. So yeah, I'm gonna stitch these two together, and what I'm gonna use is a blanket stitch. So you can see here it's all evenly stitched together, and it's like kind of like a knot here. So I'm going to show you how to do a blanket stitch. So what you do is you take your needle that's been threaded, you thread the fabric like so, pull it all the way, and then before you completely pull the loop, thread your needle through that loop like that, and then pull it, and then you should get this knot over here, and it becomes a straight line. So you just continuously do that. That's called a blanket stitch. So sometimes when you see like certain embroidered products, hand embroidered products, they usually try and make a finish like this for blankets or tea towels or something, because it just gives it a nice, I don't know, nice clean finish. Okay, so I finished sewing all around, really nice and neat. It does look really good once it's like completed. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it so that it forms this. Fold it here and here. So now that you've got it pinned how you want it, you know, if you're satisfied with how it's pinned, you can blanket stitch these together here, and then it will stay in place. So for the elastic part, which is this part right here, that goes around your ears and you can tie it behind your head. The top part is going to be 25 centimeters, and then the bottom part, which is supposed to wrap around your chin, will be about 18 centimeters, give and take. You have to make 2 of these. I'm going to attach the top part here with the pins. I made this embroidered X here. As you know, I'm not a seamstress, so I don't know how to make the back nicer if you want to use different colors. So I've decided just to use a black thread because it'll match this elastic and it won't look as ugly as my watermelon one. So the next step is to combine these ends, so it would form this. All you have to do is just like sew knots here, and then it's all done. So I'm just gonna do that now. Okay, so this is the final product. It fits snug on the face. It's over the nose and wrapped around the chin. So it fits really nicely. You can breathe quite comfortably. Just don't go marathon running in the mask or anything, but it is quite comfortable. I didn't put it over the ears, as you can see, because like I tied a normal knot here and it fits quite nicely. You can move around, it won't slip. This is what it should look like. Just a note, when you are wearing a mask outside, don't go be like touching your face and stuff, because that defeats the purpose of the mask. You're supposed to keep it clean as much as possible. If you do want to adjust it or whatever when you're outside wearing the mask, make sure you hand sanitize your hands and then you're good to go. You really have to, probably just from the side, but you shouldn't be touching the front of your face. It took me about 2.5 hours to make one of these masks. It's not the fastest way because I did hand sew everything. If you know how to use a sewing machine, go ahead and use that machine, girl. If you don't want to and you want to spend some time hand sewing a mask, then it's a nice productive pastime to make masks like this for myself and my friends and loved ones. So anyway, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make this simple mask. It did take some time, but the product itself is quite nice and quite comfortable as well, so hopefully you enjoyed it. The only reason why I'm making these masks is because I'm trying not to buy unnecessarily, surgical masks and N95 masks. We don't need it because we're not the ones that are going against the virus. We're not frontliners, we're just people who could potentially spread it. So this is just a preventative measure that doesn't cause any shortages of masks and also contributes to social distancing and just hygienic precautions. Remember, when you make these masks, wash them every single time you use them, because you got all those germs all over it, man. Maybe make a couple of them and then you can rotate the use of it so that it's not so dingy with your germs, girl. Okay, I hope everyone stays safe. I hope everyone stays healthy. We will all get through this together. No matter how long it takes, it will probably be months, judging by how China reacted to this pandemic. They're still under semi-lockdown and it's been like over 3 months, man. hopefully we can also find some creative things to do together while in isolation so that we don't go fucking crazy, you know what I mean? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.